Have you ever shaken someone's hand, smiled, and then just seconds later, realized you have absolutely no idea what their name is? You're not alone. In fact, what if I told you that forgetting names isn't just a harmless slip, but actually reveals something fascinating about how your brain works? Most people have no idea why this really happens. Most people think forgetting names means you're careless, distracted, or maybe even a little rude. It's easy to feel embarrassed or guilty, especially when everyone else seems to remember names effortlessly. But here's what's really going on. Forgetting names is one of the most common social slip-ups, and it happens to everyone, even the smartest, most socially skilled people you know. In fact, some of the world's top communicators admit to struggling with names. So if you've ever felt awkward or judged for blanking on someone's name, you're definitely not alone. And there's a lot more to the story. Picture this: you're at a friend's birthday party, chatting with someone you met just 10 minutes ago. Suddenly, your friend walks over and says, "Hey, do you remember my colleague's name?" Your mind goes completely blank. You scramble, replaying the introduction in your head, but nothing comes up. Inside, you're panicking. Did I look rude? Am I the only one who does this? You laugh it off, but deep down, you feel a little embarrassed. If you've ever had that sinking feeling, trust me, you're not alone. So many of us have been right there in that awkward moment. So why does this happen? The answer lies in how our brains process information. Names are actually some of the hardest things for our memory to hold on to, because they're often just arbitrary labels with no built-in meaning. Psychologists call this the baker-baker paradox. If someone tells you their job is a baker, you're more likely to remember it than if their last name is Baker. That's because your brain can connect the job to images, smells, and experiences, but a name is just a word floating in space. On top of that, when you meet someone new, your brain is juggling a lot. Reading social cues, making a good impression, and processing the environment. Names often get pushed to the back of the line. And here's the twist. Forgetting names isn't a sign of a weak memory, but rather that your brain is prioritizing other, more meaningful information. Most people don't realize this, but your mind is actually working efficiently, filtering out what seems less important in the moment. It's a fascinating glimpse into how our memory really works. Interestingly, forgetting names isn't just a you problem. It actually shows up differently across groups and generations. For example, younger people who grew up with social media might be better at remembering usernames or faces, but still struggle with real-life names. Older generations, on the other hand, often blame age. But research shows that even teenagers forget names all the time. Some cultures don't even use names as frequently, relying more on titles or relationships. And personality plays a role too. Introverts and extroverts both forget names, just for different reasons. So, this isn't a flaw, it's a universal human experience. Here's the surprising upside. Forgetting names can actually be a sign that your mind is busy processing tons of information. Maybe you're focused on the conversation itself, picking up on emotions, stories, or subtle cues, things that matter more than a simple label. Many people who forget names are actually great at recognizing faces or remembering important details about someone's life. Your brain might just be prioritizing what feels meaningful over what's arbitrary. So, instead of seeing this as a weakness, recognize it as a hidden strength. You're tuned into the bigger picture, not just the surface-level details. Of course, forgetting names can still lead to awkward moments or misunderstandings. It's easy to worry that others might think you don't care or aren't paying attention. But the truth is, everyone struggles with this at some point, and it doesn't mean you're thoughtless or forgetful overall. It's just one of those quirks of being human. If it bothers you, there are simple tricks to help. But remember, you're not alone, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So next time you forget someone's name, give yourself a break. It's just your brain doing its thing. You're in good company, and there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, I'd love to hear your funniest or most awkward name forgetting stories in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this. And if you're curious about easy ways to remember names for life, make sure to check out the next video. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.